friends, it's Eden. So I just want to come and chat with you a little bit about one of my pet peeves. And I joined a, a client of mine clued me into a lady who was selling a product, a very, very expensive product, which I don't have an issue with it being expensive, you know. But considering that she's pricing her product like that, it's kind of interesting what her marketing skills are, and I'd be interested to find out what her retention level is in terms of customers, and what kind of results she's getting in sales because of some of her tactics. And I say tactics versus strategy. I guess it is a strategy, but it just it just feels really strange to me. And so, I went and I joined all her Facebook groups that she has around selling this product. And every single post, I mean, every single one, is buy this product. There's very little education. If there is any education, there's just like a hint at something like, you know, your hair loss could be caused by, parasites. Okay, great. But then there's no information following that on, how would you heal the parasites? What would you do? You know, there's just no education in any of her posts. It's all buy my product, buy my product. So every single post is like this, you know, and so that's kind of what it feels like on the receiving end of that. And I follow a lot of beauty brands because it's my job to do so, and I've never seen anyone do it as much as she does. I mean, like it's really kind of almost insane. And I just want to discourage you from that. And I think that a lot of the reasons why people are afraid of social media, they're afraid of marketing, is because they've been on the receiving end of something like that. So they feel like, well, in order to be successful, I have to be like that. And then what are people going to think of me for, constantly having my product in people's faces? Well, the thing is, what you need to be in front of people speaking about, especially people who have raised their hand by choosing to like your page and join your Facebook group, is education, education, education. So you educate them about how to solve their problem, independently of whether they use your product or not. Okay, you may have the best exfoliant on earth, but all your education has to be around why it's important to exfoliate, what happens when you exfoliate your skin properly. That means they may go off and buy someone else's exfoliant. But if they have truly learned from you and what you have taught them has been an eye-opener, and they are not allergic or against any ingredient in your product, and if they can afford it, they will come back and buy, or they'll refer someone else to you, or they'll just be there sort of boosting the good vibes. They'll be sending you good vibes, and that goes somewhere. It's all energy. It goes somewhere. It goes back into your business. You don't have to be directly selling in every post. you know your whole body of work, all of your hustle, obviously is geared towards selling. But you know I would say the bulk of your social media game needs to be about building trust and building rapport. Okay. And helping people understand things. The sales, obviously you're going to have to make direct offers where people actually can hand you their credit card or their money, and in exchange for a product or service. But it doesn't have to be about that all the time. And when you realize that, it's a lot more fun, it's a lot more enjoyable, and it really frees you to show up and serve. So really be careful about that. And what are ways in which you can, educate people in a fun way? And maybe at the end of the education, like if you're going to make an offer every day, let it be at the end of a piece of education. Then people just come to expect it, okay? She's going to educate us, and it's going to be worth the read whether I go for the offer or not. So video, obviously, live video, and as well as recorded videos that stay on your Facebook page or your Instagram or YouTube forever. Live video is great. You'll find that after a live video, you'll get a lot of direct messaging and emails and so forth, more so than with a recorded video. Because I don't know what it is about just the energy following a live video. People are kind of feeling more in sync with you, and they get to see you as you are, unrehearsed, and kind of decide whether they really do like you or not. Okay, so something happens when you do live versus recorded. Another thing is blogs, especially if you're a good writer, or you can always have someone outsource it for you, you can always outsource it to someone, and have someone else write the blogs. You just kind of send them a recorded message, via voice, via audio file, or even written headlines, and say, this is kind of what I want to talk about, So you can have a blog that, and then that can be pinned. You can have that as a link on your Facebook posts or your Instagram posts or whatever. So that's an effective way to do it. Podcasts are an effective way to do it. Ebooks are an effective way if you want to go deeper. You can do a free ebook, but my general feeling is that people value things that they pay for, because I have all kinds of free ebooks that I've forgotten that I even had. I never read them. Even if I was excited to get them at the time, something happened, and I got busy with life, and then I just never read the ebook, right? And so, no, you're not imagining things. I I have to finish it inside because it's so hot in Phoenix today. It's another 106, 107 degree day, which is, I want to say, around 40 degrees for those of you who are doing Celsius. So my device just shut down, and I'm determined to finish this before my husband and kids come back from a road trip. So I was saying that, when ebooks are free, a lot of times people don't value them. It's not something intentional that we do, but, when we don't pay for something, sometimes we just don't value it as much. So if you charge 99 cents or $3.99 per month, per download, say on Amazon or whatever, for your ebook, people are more likely to read it, which means that they're more likely to learn about you, build trust, get the information that they need to be educated about, which sets them up perfectly for why your product is important and how it's special, and they've already sort of figured out whether they like you or not in that book, so they're more likely to buy. So that's, all of that. And then there's also, it takes time and energy to organize your thoughts into a book. Do you really want to be writing something that people are downloading and not reading? Maybe you're okay with it. I think I'm okay with it for small things, whether it be a video or a blog post. But for longer things, I prefer that people actually read what they purchase from me. So I put a dollar figure on it that puts the respect on that body of knowledge, and also that kind of pays me back for organizing my thoughts into a system that they can digest and understand. Because of course you can Google everything, but if you can give it to them in an hour or two of reading versus 7 hours of Google researching, I think that's worth paying for. So that's one way. Another way that's kind of new is Alexa, which is an Amazon voice product. For those of you that are, I think basically right now it's in the West and possibly Australia, which I guess is part of the West in some way, but you have to have Amazon. And what's nice is that obviously Amazon is a selling machine, but Alexa has a product called an Alexa skill, and so you can ask Alexa for things like, Alexa, how do I keep my hair hydrated? Alexa, how do I deal with acne. Alexa, how do I prevent diaper rash? And so if you've built an Alexa skill that answers those sort of questions, that really is extremely helpful, okay? Extremely helpful for your clients, and then that can also be a way that can eventually lead to a sale, because Alexa is connected to a very strong selling platform. So I just wanted to come and talk about that. It's like just constantly putting your product in people's faces isn't enough. You have to have an energetic imprint behind that. That resonates with people, where people feel like they trust you and they learn from you. And that is what makes your product sticky more than anything else. Even if they go back to other products, they'll always circle back around to you occasionally to buy, because you created that stickiness through educational impact, and for them to be able to really see your heart, through your branding and your messaging and your teaching and your marketing. So that's all I wanted to share, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.